His sanity has to be gone now, right? Like, it has to be done for. I think so. I wonder if at this point he'll open up and bring the others into it and what's kind of going on, or if he's still going to try and keep that in and to the point that he just explodes. Like, I really, I hope he doesn't, but I hope he informs them at least kind of what's going on and they can kind of power their way through this together in a way and combine their brains and hopefully figure something out. Because if not, and he's just trying to keep them all out of it, it's bad news. Like, it's not going to work well. We know how that kind of stuff usually goes. And let it all bottle up inside, it's going to cause some problems. So I'm hoping he goes on a good route here, and I'm hoping we don't get any more threats because I don't want that to happen for him. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me a lot. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments about this episode of series. This is going to episode 12. 70 million years ago. This is what we saw in that Wick flashback, right? You would think so. Oh. To the end. There'll be no more. Yeah, with the many different ones, right? Yeah. So it's okay. Why? Buddy. We zoomed in there for a reason, huh? Bet it would look great on you. Not anymore. Yeah, at least they'll realize something's off with them. Kind of.
理論上はこれで記憶を過去に送ることができるはず。容量にして3.24テラ。電話レンジで送れるデータは36バイトプラスアルファ。当然テラなんて容量は送れないから、一旦 LHC にこれを送って、ブラックホールの力で圧縮。それをここに戻して、D メールと同じ方法で過去に送る。
押し入れに入らない布団を圧縮袋で入れる的な？
厳密には違うけど、まあイメージとしてはそういうことね。
That's a decent analogy, I guess.
は最大で一度に48時間まで。それ以上過去に送ると脳の状態の齟齬が大きくコピーが失敗する可能性もあるわ。
That's why we zoomed in on the time specifically.
人間が試すしか成功か失敗か確かめる方法がないの。
I feel like Okabe is not the smart one to use here because of his memory stuff already, you know?
岡部、あなたの意見を聞かせて。
But maybe not. Mayuri's concerned. Yeah.
キングがバレた気配はないよ。
それについては私も同意。本当に気づいていたら何かアクションがあるはずだもの。
So we're connected for a reason. Probably observation of Kurisu would be my assumption.
に超越できるのか確かめてみたい気持ちはある。
じゃあマユシーの買ってきたバナナをタイムリープさせればいいんじゃないかな。
まゆり、さっきも言ったでしょ。バナナに記憶は。
だが実験はしない。このことは世間に公表する。タイムリープマシンはしかるべき機関に託す。
Wow.
マユシーは大賛成です。
This scares me though. Is this the thing that we were worried about? Difference in kind of how he wants to handle this. We tell others, we give it out to them. Kurisu leaves, joins, and starts working with them, and then creates some stuff that she shouldn't.
サラダと言ったよな。
そうよ。グレープフルーツのサラダ。
Not the one like last
な
time.
らなぜ納豆とひき肉がカゴに入ってる？
いろいろ合わせてみると美味しいのよ。グレープフルーツの酸味があるから。
Her understanding of salads is well off.
しかも 50% オ
出
フだ。
来合いのもの買ってもつまらないでしょ。まったくこれだから実験にしか興味のない男はダメなのよね。やっと解放されたってほっとしてる。意外だった。
Keeping that
あんたな
version
らすぐ
in.
タイムリープの実験をしようって言うかと思ってたから。
不満か？
そりゃあね。 見しないって言われて正直ほっとした。多分みんなも一緒だったんじゃないかと思う。
Hmm.
ずっと前からやめるべきだと思っていたのかもしれない。
She has.
そうね。案外実験に夢中だった私や岡部よりも、あの子の方がいろいろ見えていたのかも。パンにも知られることになるし、私がタイムリープマシン作ったって。青森行きもちょっと無理かな。きっと大騒ぎになるもんね。
Likely.
心配するな。
You can still do it
ラーメン
though.
が抱えている問題は必ず俺が解決してやる。
The sweetest.
としてこき使いたいからなんでしょ。
大切な仲間だからだ。
Hmm. No jokes involved.
はは
何してる。
熱があるせいで助手らしくもないことを言い出したのかと思ってな。
Hmm.
別にあんたに感謝していたわけじゃない。これは形式的な礼というか、なんというか。
それは何というツンデレな。
ツンデレじゃない。
I've been wondering that the whole show,
い
bro.
つも無茶苦茶なことばかり言ってるくせに、急に仲間がどうとか言い出して支離滅裂なんだよ。呆れて言葉も出んわ。
言葉なら出ているではないか。それよりもなぜ3枚とも同じ種類なのだ。
Why are they all
僕
open
の個
too?
人的趣味。
おのれ、そんな独占的なことが許されると思うのか。
なかったし、
止めたさ、全力で力の限り。
オカリン、ラボメンはオカリンが守るって言ったろ。
諦めるな。まだ終わったと決まったわけじゃない。
終わったら故郷に帰って結
That's a good dream, bro. That's a good plan.
おお、よかった。すぐにキッチンへ。
Please help us.
何なんか
Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
届いてたんだ。マユシーもから。
Ooh, yeah. So you gotta talk to her.
なんでマキセクリスがい
Why are you here? I am too.
だこそなんでここに。
ラボメンだからね。
Yo.
変な言いがかりをつけてくるだけ。
She
私が
does.
セルンのスパイだとかな
言いがか。りじゃない。事実だよ。
何その自信満々の態度。証拠はあるの。
証拠はない。でもそうなる。
は。
予言だよ。私は君のことを君以上に知ってる。君が本質的にどういう人間で、
What you're gonna do?
や
Yup,
っていく
yup, yup.
ごめん。論理が破綻しすぎてて何言ってるのかさっぱりわからない。
It's gonna happen though.
クリスちゃん。
助手よ、俺はお前をそのように育てた覚えはない。
育てられた覚えもない。
ベリン太郎には忠告したよね。マキセクリスには気をつけろって。
You did. And yet you've continued to get close.
聞いたんだ。この人の言うことを疑いもなく信じたんだ。
I was cautious.
そうではないが。
でも否定もしなかったよね。
いや
He did not.
中世に入った意味なくね。
やかましい。なら貴様がやってみろ。大体。
マユシーはね、
Uh,
喧嘩は
she's like the voice of reason for all.
みんなでいるときは
Just wants to have
仲良く
fun.
した方が楽しいと思うよ。
It breaks my heart seeing her get so upset.
迷ったら攻める。それが私のモットーだよ。
かかったな小娘が。これで貴様のウイルスは3枚。
隅っこに並んでるやつ間違いなくリンクカードだから。岡部の性格から考えたら絶対そうだから。
助手よ、貴様助手のくせに裏切るというのか。
Supposed to be on my team.
あんたのその偉そうな口が気に
That's
入ら
why
ない
she's
のよ。
betraying you, dude.
礼は言わないよ。すずさんと仲良くなってマユシーは嬉しいです。
ああ、別に仲良くなったわけじゃないけど、
We're just putting up
確
with
か
it.
にマユリの言う通りだなって。みんなでいるときは仲良くしてるのが楽しいよね。
Weird.
岡部ともさっき話してたの。このラボのこと一番冷静に見てたのはマユ
Right.
リだったのかも。
That's what I was saying. She's like the glue for them here.
だけあの岡部が神妙な顔しててさ、
Because he cares
ちょっと気
greatly.
味が悪い。
The hourglass again. Ooh.
おーかり
Is that a lightsaber?
おお、なんだ。
ー。ラボメンたくさんになったでしょ。
Lots of
だ
friends.
からね、最近いろいろ足りないなって。
プマシンを公表すれば何らかの形で謝礼は入るだろう。それで全て解決だ。
ほん
Mm,
椅子と食器買える？
we
ああ
can.
買える。買ってもなお余ると言ったら。
じゃあ電子レンジも。唐
Mm.
揚げ温められなくて困ってる
Yeah,
んだ。
one we can actually use.
検討しよう。
The little things, the simple things for her.
オカリンとって っても寂しそうだったのに。ダルくんでしょ、クリスちゃんでしょ、ルカちゃんでしょ、すずさん、萌香さん、フェリスちゃん、ブラウン店長さん、マユシーが人質じゃなくても。
Wow.
爆
Oh,
破の予告があったのに
fuck.
現在運転を見合わせているのは次の路線です。
スリープマシンが完成した記念なんだよね。
そうだけど、なぜ
And now we're gonna use that to go back
続けてる
and
の？
続けてるっつうか、もっと奥まで入り込んだっつうか、
どういうこと？
セレンと直接回線で繋がったんだよ。
the headphones, they're listening.
今すぐ。
You can't tell us whatever it is.
すずさん？
Weird. The hourglass again. All the sound fades away. Oh no.
マユシーの懐中止まっちゃってる。おかしいな。さっきネジ巻いたばっかりなのに。何これ。
なんだ。
Oh.
運転を見合わせて
Your time's been suspended, buddy. Uh-oh. Moiko, no. Moiko, no.
萌香さん。
桐生、萌か。
タイムマシンはセルンが回収する。セルン？どういうこと？牧瀬クリス、岡部倫太郎、橋田至る、3名は一緒に来てもらう。
マユリは
椎名真由里は必要ない。
やめろ。やめてくれ。
Souza, Souza, Souza.
マユリ。マユリ。なんだよこれ。なんだよこれ。
I don't know. I don't know. Why did it have to be her? She was the nicest one, you know? She was... Honestly, that's why it was her, right? She's the only one who had a clear view of everything. And they can't... She is the one who's holding us back. And holding CERN back from getting their hands on the things that they want and developing what they want, right? The future, the dystopia that they want, right? I think that's it. I think it's as simple as that. She's not needed for that reason, because if she's around, she's going to cause us some fucking problems. So we have to move on from her. And you other three are smart enough to be able to help us develop these things. I mean, you even saw what just happened here. They were going to go public. You know, CERN wants all the power here. You know, they want it all, and that's their goal, is to obtain it all. They're a private thing, right? You go public and give other people the same information, same technology, it's gonna be some problems, isn't there now? So what is our goal is to stop that in its tracks, get rid of Mayuri, and then I guess is do your thing, take the others, force them to not go public, but force them to continuously test this, use it for our own benefit. I think that's probably the route. Moiko specifically being involved, got nothing. But I think that would be likely the route that we go with why they do or they're doing what they're doing. They see stuff within them. They know they're capable. So they need to remove the problems, such as her, but they also need to take the others. I mean, they tapped in. We've been knowing since the last episode that they've been watching us, or they've had an eye on us. When that all began, how that all began. I'm assuming Moika is the one who's done it then. I mean, that would make a lot of sense now. How did this all happen? Well, I mean, she just hooked us up to the building, you know, like she knows where we are and she's been involved. She's been brought here. I'd assume that would make enough sense. So she was able to allow us to get a strong connection through there. How exactly they knew of everything that was going on. There's a couple possibilities. One could be like information relayed through whatever Moika's figured out in a way. Which, I mean, could just be an invitation to coming out and celebrating this tonight. So she's like, all right, it's fucking go time. We got to move. Could be something of the passage of information from future lines down here, right? But it also could be something we literally just set up a new system with headphones and stuff, right? Like we could hack into that stuff and allow that microphone to be activated from it, right? From the headset that was there. Because I'm pretty sure they showed it and it had a microphone attached to get their info out of there, right? Be able to listen in on everything that we're saying, basically bug the room, know what we're talking about, know what our plans are, decide it's time to take action because everybody's going to sit around here and they're not going to use this the way that we want them to. Just sucks. It's Mayuri. I don't know. I can't even say like, I wish it was someone else. I like them all, you know, but it's like, it's always the kind one, right? Always the one who's got the kind heart, who doesn't want bad things to happen to the others and is always like looking out for them. And it's always them. The end sequence with Suzuha's too is really interesting. We get our talk the entire time, you know, how she feels and the way she puts things onto Kurisu, letting her know, I know in the future the things that you do and what you work for CERN. It's nothing that, it's not on you now, but it's you in the future that she doesn't necessarily like, and she's trying to steer people away from and keep eyes on, you know, keep away from her because of that. But it's interesting too. The moment all this happens, Suzuha knows what's about to be coming. Why she knows that, I don't know. I don't know where she gets her info from. Maybe she just had a timeline. Time stops basically, like for everybody here, in a way. And that's when you gotta fucking go. Or maybe she knows of like that, you know, just using indicators almost as to when these things are going to occur. But it hits her in that moment that she has to get out of there, or things are going to go bad. And she's probably trying to just preserve herself, which is understandable, I guess, as to why she would do that. She instantly dips. There's no get away from Kurisu. There's no look at her and like say something before she leaves. It's instantly, let me protect myself and let me go. I mean, and you even see she tries to tell them something, it seems like, and then she stops herself and she just goes. It's almost like she can't do that. She'll get in trouble if she does that. She's not allowed to protect them or change the course of things. She has to let this happen, which would suck. But it would ring more to me as she's good people, good intentions and all. And we should probably need to get back in contact and try things with her. I don't know. It would come off more likely to me that they really had me too. I thought the moment they were like, oh, trains have stopped and there's a bomb thrown and stuff, I thought we were about to blow that thing up. And then we were going to have to use like memories and stuff to send things back and try and alter that, possibly allow us to have this information and stuff. And we were going to use it to test it there. But they decided, no, we're not going to go that direction as well. Moika standing there too, right before she's about to shoot. And constantly saying, I think she was saying 4FB, and then she just kept saying FB in her head. Like she didn't want to do it almost, but like it was something she had to do for whatever FB is. I'm assuming it's an organization or it's her higher up, somebody along those lines, something that she has to kind of listen to or obey in some sort of way. And that would be the reason as to why she is, I guess, acting out and doing the things in which she's doing and justifying absolutely everything that she's doing. Just sucks. It's Mayuri though. That's not who we want, you know. It comes off of such like powerful moments too, of us seeing the entire episode, as we said, about her being the clear-headed one, steering us possibly onto the correct path, but also just the conversation we just had with Okabe about how much he's changed and how much joy has been brought into their life and how going in this positive direction that they're going to be able to bring happiness and bring some money from a possible reward and the things that they're going to gain out of this, and looking forward almost into the future of the things we have. But at that exact moment too, she gave up, or she didn't give up, but she released him in a way, letting him know she's no longer the hostage that she considers herself. I think she said that many episodes ago, and now this being the case, I think is really interesting how they're gonna I don't know, the exact moments, the exact time. We have that intro sequence too. I think going through it like this would allow me to have my thoughts a little bit more cleared up. This area is the exact area we saw in that one screenshot that I was concerned over early, that one frame we had in episode like fucking 2 or 3 or some shit that I was very cautious over. Appears to be the exact same location. The world, what did she say, like 70 million years before, whatever it was. And I think we get something similar happen. They show something later in the episode. I'll see if I can find it afterwards. This whole sequence is fascinating too. The idea, the memory that he's having here, whatever it is, this dream state of being here while Mayuri's talking to him, and kind of being this voice in the sky almost, maybe a possible indicator as to the future that's coming without her, but also maybe a possible indicator as to the fact that she's the voice of reason in a way, the thing that you need to kind of follow and listen to and trust in. Has a really fun perspective of the idea that even if there is multiple of these things, multiple versions of yourself, some would consider you to be one of many, but while others would say you're the original version, maybe you consider yourself to be that one. And I think that's just a fun way for them to kind of look at it. And we see here, she thinks that they're going to die here, but that's okay because somebody's going to carry out their goals. Someone somewhere, someone with the same will as them will be able to do it at some point. We get a crack in time. We get a stoppage of time at this exact moment. Really interesting. We also do some fun stuff with specifically zooming in on moments and stopping to make sure that you're looking at like the time and the date and stuff like that. There's about a 3 hour-ish window, 3 or 4 hour window, I think, between the stuff that ends up happening here, which is cool, I guess. I don't really know what more to think about that. Once again, the moment we come back, the paying attention to the hourglass and the time and stuff on it, I'm assuming that's just more of an indicator to let you know the time's kind of running up. And it's going to ultimately stop at one point. Cute moment of trying to get everybody to kind of do the cosplaying and everything that was on her mind there. And then we start getting a breakdown a little bit of how exactly this new thing's going to work and how the memories and all that stuff along goes. I'm not really going to go too much into it. Yeah, so it looks like it 1,000,000% has a microphone attached to it. So I'm assuming we can hack in and actually gain like a wiretap in a way. The way that we're doing things here, which I think makes perfect sense. I love the specific moment of Kurisu, this line here, distinguishing who she's talking to. I don't want to talk to your persona, your mad scientist, the version who's gonna want to do this experiment. I want to talk to the real you. I want to talk to the one who's grounded a bit more and actually has some care for the people around them and the possibility of changing things drastically within the world and possibly ruining things, and understands the consequences that can come about for the things that we're going to do. And instantly, just the voice change, the way that he acts different and carries himself in this exact moment, and how he decides that he ultimately wants to do things. This moment too, it's so sad to see when Mayuri, I'm even assuming usually, I mean, she's not the brightest, right? And we know that, but the moment she starts bringing up like about the bananas and trying to do these things, it's like, I think she gets it already, but I think it's more of just like her wishing in a way that, can't we go back to this, the fun experiments? We were just doing things that weren't harming anybody. We were having fun and enjoying the things that are happening. Now we're putting people possibly at risk and doing these things. And it just like breaks your heart to see her say, but then you get the big old smile out of her when Okabe just decides, I think it's smarter for us to go out of our way and sell this off in a way, or not sell this off, but tell the public and come clean. I love how Kurisu continues to like struggle heavily with the salads and the way she kind of approaches things. It's kind of goofy. We get that talk I've talked a little bit about earlier about how their views on Mayuri and stuff like that too. I love him hitting her too when she kind of tries to like tease him and come at him about like the assistant thing, and he's like, no, you're an important companion of mine, right? And I think that's the sweetest thing. We get a really cute moment between them two, him kind of calling her out, and neither of them being able to get too close to each other without anything. Once again, building up more of this connection between the two of them and the actual relationship that we're gaining. Why Daru has 3 of the same, but he keeps all of them open like this is the wildest shit to me. We get our stare down between our two. Well, the idea of like them calling each other out, finally, more of what I wanted. I wanted them to actually come clean and start saying this, but it's the carefulness in a way that Suzuha kind of carries herself, the way she talks, the way she states these things in what she's saying, right? The way that the way she uses very like specific words, in the choice of words that she has of how she's going to kind of come out and say the things that she is, because you can clearly tell she can't say certain things, or she can't like say too much, but just the way that she kind of says it is really interesting. And I like the Mayuri not liking the fighting thing and really becoming that person once again that we talked about, who's going to kind of keep everybody a bit more grounded and stop the conflicts and the disputes that we're going to have here, and try and keep everybody on the same page. She's that glue person in a way. I always tell this to people too, how like every time you have like a friend group of people, you have certain people who don't like mingle well or don't work well with others, but you always have to have that glue guy, right? You have to have that person who kind of holds it all together, who kind of brings the people together, who when they're around, like things can kind of stay level headed a little bit. You have to have that person in the middle who can do that. And Mayuri seems to be that person within this group here. Fun moment. Everybody's enjoying themselves, playing the games and stuff. And Okabe gets pissed because he loses, so he goes to the roof. I really like Kurisu here being the one who kind of thanks Mayuri for this and sends her out to go talk to Okabe about this. I love bringing the flashlight, or bringing the lightsaber as a flashlight instead. And then just that conversation I talked about earlier, all the things that we can have, right? How great our future is about to be, about to turn it for the better. Everything's about to be so great, isn't it? Except at this moment, he starts having a vision of what she was thinking before, about the things that are to come, right? About somebody's going to be able to carry these things out regardless. We're going to be able to do these things. Figured out there's a bomb threat though. And in this moment, realizing the connection that we have with CERN, and looking at the microphone, looking at the computer, realizing we might be tapped in a way. Suzuha bringing the idea that she can't say anything. She's stuck here. You know, she ultimately just has to run away, and she really wants to say something, you can tell, but she literally can't. And everybody getting stuck, time stopping here. It's not moving. Why are watches, why is our everything not working, right? A dramatic ass build up here. Very tense moment where everybody pulls up and they pull these things out at us, right? They got their guns, we got our group. They're not as well put together, you know, we're wearing shorts and stuff. Weird looking bunch, right? We're wearing masks. I wonder why. I mean, I'm assuming you're breaking into somebody's house and threatening them here and possibly killing them. You probably should. Doesn't look like anybody I'm aware of that we know of. So I guess these are just other people who work for the organization or just follow under Moyaka's lead or whatever the case might be. Basically, they got us. We put our time to a stop. And then we get dramatic ass build up of her kind of revealing who she is. CERN will take the time machine. So she works for them. She asked for our 3, not Mayuri, the other 3 though, but she works for them. Why they want the time machine makes perfect sense. Kurisu, from what we understand, in the future at some point works for CERN. Is this the start of where that kind of happens? Do we bring everybody in? Do we force a continuation of experiments? Do we do away in the possible development of everything that's going to happen here? And then at some point, does Okabe and Daru just kind of not go down that path? Do they stray away? Do they decline to work on this? Do they decline these things? But Kurisu won't give in, and she continues and creates things and works with CERN and actually like does the things with that they say. She cooperates and ultimately does bad things for the world and the state that things kind of come in. And that's why Suzuha is kind of put off by her and has these issues from things that she's been fed down the line, and those kind of come and occur. Think that would be most likely the route. There's nothing in my mind that tells me that Kurisu would go these other routes though. So it's weird. And the only way that makes me think that is she has to be threatened some sort of way, which I guess threatening your life is enough of a threat. So that's all it really has to be. But I wouldn't be shocked if there's a possibility that we get here and we meet like her dad. he's possibly working for them here, and she uses this as an opportunity to kind of disprove him or go beat against him, you know, get that reconnection of them kind of debating and doing things the way they are, and kind of her outsmarting and proving him once again, as she always has, possibly getting that fire back and wanting to do that. I don't know. Possibly a deal being made that they'll save the others in a way if Karisu herself offers to like kind of join in and do the things that we ask her of. These are all things like, I don't know. You have to speculate on it, at least exactly what they are. And then at this moment of having to 4FB, what exactly that is. We shatter the glass, break it, stop the time, Mayuri gone. And then we get the flashes again. Okabe's voice actor does a great job at that scene, really bringing the emotion of that in. Where we go from here, I'd argue Mayuri still will be around. I'd argue we can activate this or do something or go back and change things at some point. I'd argue there's a moment in time, probably within this episode, that we have stuff set up that we could go back to and cause a change. How and when exactly we do all that, I don't know for sure. But I'd argue we can go back and save Mayuri at some point. But I don't know. Usually it's just an anime thing. A lot of times you don't actually kill off a lot of the characters, especially if it's a time travel show. Usually you know for a fact you can go back and save them at some point in some way. While it's not clear to me how or what we're going to do, it feels like it'd come back around that we'd be able to. So I'd be expecting that. I'd be more shocked if we don't do that. Because like I said, that's typically something we do. And that's typically something I don't like, is going back and saving the people. I don't like those routes usually as much because they feel kind of cheap sometimes. You know, it feels like we're, I don't know, just the way that we're doing it. But I definitely like it more than like being in like a show or a genre where we just have like healing magic, or like we do something, we sit, you know, like, and we bring people back. Like, I don't like that. That shit really bothers me. But something like this doesn't bother me as much. And especially because it's her. It's not like, usually when you have like such a big character in a way, like somebody who seems like important and then you get rid of them, but then like you actually don't, that's when it bothers me. She doesn't seem as like useful in a way. While she's that glue that I was talking about, she doesn't seem as useful. So it almost makes it like not bother me as much that we can go back and get her. That's all I really got though. Add this to the list of things I wasn't expecting to happen throughout the show. The hell of a moment though. I'm thrilled to see the next one. Unfortunately can't do any more today though, so hopefully I can get around to doing that soon. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos in the channel, leave any comments with this episode or series. I'll be back for 13 soon. You guys have a good one. Peace.